You guys asked for more Kingrow. Well, here it is. This is the Kingrow K1, and we're not going to do a direct comparison in terms of stats and specs and everything like that. We're going to show you really real-world actual tests of what you're going to do on this phone versus your actual phone. Yes, this is my actual phone, and I do have reception and everything, so I might have to pause if I get like messages and stuff. This is a standard Asus Zenfone 5Z, so it's not terrible, but it's, you know, it's no S10 Plus, but at the same point it's a fair comparison because this is a a semi high-end phone. All right, so what does unlocking and locking look like on both of these? So if I lock mine, it doesn't have a fingerprint sensor or anything like that. And if you do want to see more on the actual build quality and everything of this, watch the review. It is on our YouTube channel, and you will see right off the bat the reflectivity is way different because this is running e-ink and it is flush screen and bezel, but it's very matte. So you can see you do get the same kind of reflection like the camera there, but it's diffused, whereas you can most definitely see the reflection on a regular smartphone because this is effectively a slate of glass. Unlocking on both of these, well, obviously a regular smartphone is quicker, but this one does all right, and you can see the swiping between panels is a little bit slower, and that is because, well, this is running e-ink. The advantage of this is that this is incredibly long lasting, so even though it may have a smaller battery than most other phones, this will last a lot longer. And you can see once it's on, there's almost no glare at all. There's a little bit if you catch the direct, studio lights, but you can see it's not nearly as bad as a regular e-ink, as a regular smartphone. Let's just dial some numbers on the screen and see what happens. So it's obviously a lot quicker on here. Everything's very responsive, very quick. It doesn't exactly really make that much of a difference. I mean, this isn't exactly playing catch up, and it doesn't skip anything, so it is responding as well as expected. And it does have haptic feedback, which you can turn off, so every time you tap something it is vibrating at the same time. Pressing home, you can see it goes at a steady pace. This is where you'll be doing your texting, so I'll just write Peter is here and just see what happens on both of these. So here I'm just going to write normally, Peter is here. And see, it corrected me. I wrote os here, but it did correct me very well, and it didn't miss any letters. That's very nice. And of course, very quick on there as well. Let's press the multitask button here and clear some applications. Looks like that compared to that. This is your main app screen. You see you can go more. Shows all the applications, everything will be loaded in here. You can go back. You can do panel setup, and this is actually specific to this phone. It is kind of like an overall laying UI widget that you cannot get rid of. So you won't get the conventional Android experience like this, where you get just a list of apps, and this will be your home screen panels. The Kingrow actually locks you into these panels here. You can change some of the panels, but that panel system will be there regardless. You can see all the apps here. What does scrolling look like? Scrolling, you obviously get that very nice inertia slowdown as you usually get on LCD LED. Do you get that on the e-ink? You do get a little bit of inertia. It's not the greatest because it's kind of choppy. Now, a thing to note about this phone is that it doesn't actually have an A2 mode. There are certain things that push it into a faux A2 mode, like when you're zooming or scrolling around on certain pages. However, there is no system-wide A2 mode, and A2 mode actually makes the quality lower, so the speed is up, and this one doesn't have it. However, we do have something very interesting, which is a glow light. This is not backlit. It's front lit, meaning there's LEDs shooting into the screen like that, whereas this is actually an LED panel, an LCD panel that shoots outwards into your face. So if you do want to use this at night, you actually can, and this is the advantage of this over a lot of other e-ink attempts, is that you actually can properly use this any time of day. We'll look at some images I took here. think that's a video. So there's an image I took of a phone, and if I just go here to an image I took of, just say, this car here, you will see that there's that kind of faux A2 mode. You can see it gets a little pixelated as you move it around. Scrolling and navigating is very slow, so you will have to deal with it looking like this. And then when you let go, it takes a second and it should render once it knows you're not tapping anything anymore. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's in this constant navigation mode. Funny thing about this device is that when you export the videos and pictures, they are full color. On a phone, you want to watch videos and play videos. How do they both kind of stack up? We'll just play the Goody Reader intro on the Kingrow eink video. Kind of what it should look like, what it does look like. You can watch it. If you kind of put them side by side like this, it looks absolutely terrible. But I mean, if you absolutely had to, like gun to your head, you can watch it. I mean, it's running at like 10 frames a second, but I mean, it is doing it. Obviously doesn't show any color. It's impressive though. But again, if it had that A2 mode or X mode actually to speed it up and make the picture a little bit lower, it'd be nice. But as you can hear, the audio works just fine. You have the dual speakers at the bottom. Nothing wrong with the audio. It's on point. And it is synced with the video, believe it or not. It's just the video is running at such a low rate that it looks like it's not synced, but it is. I actually just found this in the storage room. It's a PS3 red Sony controller. So I'm just going to show you what the camera looks like now. Obviously, it won't be color. If you did film with this, it will be color when you export it, but it won't be color here. And it won't be this slow either. It actually does play full speed when you export it. I'm not sure of the exact frame rate, but it does play full speed. You can see here that it's not playing full speed here. Whereas what it should look like, scrolling around on web pages. I mean, that's what we do on smartphones a lot. We scroll around, we pinch and zoom, we tap on articles and so forth. What does that look like on here compared to a standard smartphone? See, again, when you scroll it around, it is in this kind of A2 mode, which is really nice. It's not moving a full rendered image around. It's actually just moving a diluted, dissolved image around. Got an ad here, but that is the load time. Honestly, it's not that bad. Just when you do scrolling up and down, the actual navigation from page to page is quite nice. What does a pinch and zoom look like, you ask? Well, there it is. Again, not terrible. So this was just a real-world comparison between standard smartphone that is running LCD LED that shouldn't have any major hurdles in moving around and navigating versus an e-ink smartphone. E-ink smartphones aren't industry standard. They are fairly new. So this is real life what you will deal with when you're navigating in between things, clicking on things, tapping them 6 times so that they actually function. All the quick key muscle memory navigations that we're used to are going to have to take a back seat because they are slower. We're going to have to wait. Every little thing that you do on here, you are going to have to wait just a little bit more time. The top bar took 1.5 seconds to drop down. Yeah, first world problems, you can't wait a second for something to happen. I understand that, but this is a smartphone and it's doing everything a smartphone can do. So can it keep up with a regular smartphone? No, it cannot, but it does have some cool advantages. It is very nice. It's very nice looking. It's built well. It has all the standard features that a smartphone should have. And it is running e-ink, which is, well, that's just invaluable because e-ink's awesome. And because it's e-ink, it is inherently much better on battery long term if you're just using this for regular everyday things. If you're going on Facebook and, you know, videos and stuff like that, like we went from 8% to 4 pretty quick. So you have to just kind of gauge it for yourself. But I would say if you're hoping this is the exact same as a regular smartphone, it is not. So look elsewhere. But if you want something cool, this is the one. For goodyreader.com and a quick comparison between this and a regular smartphone, this is Peter.